好，我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，欢迎您收看这一周的罗马主场 Rome Report。在新闻的首先，我们来关心因应新冠肺炎的疫情，在4月初，图克森枢机他访问了罗马杰梅利医院时宣布，教宗正在组织一个特别的工作队，希望能够舒缓社区疫情。图克森枢机代表教宗方济各发言说，这是应教宗要求新成立的梵蒂冈回应疫情小组，由枢机协调5个小组，任务范围从及时回应紧急情况，以至长期重建以及与其他国家的合作。
During his visit to Gemelli Hospital in Rome in early April, Cardinal Peter Turkson made an unexpected announcement. He said the Pope was organizing a task force to ameliorate the social consequences resulting from the coronavirus.
A nome di Papa Francesco ed a nome del gruppo recentemente creato che si chiama Vatican COVID-19 Response Team, appena nuovamente creata, voluto dal Santo Padre stesso, porgo il nostro cordiale saluto.
The Cardinal is coordinating 5 groups whose tasks range from immediate responses to the emergency and longer-term reconstruction to collaboration with other countries. The team's board includes Bruno Marie Dufay and Augusto Zampini.
Lo que nos pidió el Papa es que
The Pope made a request using a very poetic but vivid image. Remember that the future has a memory, so try to bring the future, to memorize the future, to anticipate the future, with science, of course. Use social sciences, ecology, economy, health, politics, security, projections, but also use your imagination. Pope Francis likens the crisis to a maze. He says getting out requires agility, adaptability, and a bird's-eye view of the situation. That's why the Commission is working with health, economic, and environmental experts to come up with proposals that can be applied.
no significa que tengamos que inventar la
It doesn't mean we have to reinvent the wheel. It's a matter of understanding how our tradition as church, religion, faith, Catholic social doctrine of dialogue with others can help us. We have to understand how this very valuable tradition we have can help us respond to the crisis. The team is already addressing issues like debt in poor countries and the plight of those who have lost their jobs. The Pope's idea is to transform the crisis into a drawing board for a more human society.
también
He also says this has to be an opportunity for something, for the common good, for what we call the common good. We can't go back to repeating mistakes of the past when crises were exploited to reaffirm the superiority of some at the expense of others. That's what happened in the 2008 crisis when we saved the banks instead of the investors. The Pope is convinced this crisis calls for new strategies. As the saying goes, insanity is doing the same things over and over again, but expecting different results. That's what makes this task force a novelty in the Vatican. It relies heavily on collaboration between different fields, and it requires speed in order to give the Pope the proposals he wants as soon as possible.
新冠肺炎疫情引发的居家隔离，造成一连串的影响效应，特别是社会边缘的一群人。最近有一个全球人民运动组委会，透过教宗方济各的建议与指示，面对一些劳工团体，现在也许是考虑全民基本收入的适当时机，让家庭得以应付基本生活需求。这是一个以人为本的倡议，既是能具体实现的理想，也有人情味，并且也能够符合基督信仰的现实。
Confinement caused by the pandemic brings serious consequences, especially for those in the peripheries of society.
Y quizá son en estas situaciones donde
Maybe it's in these situations that healthcare systems aren't delivering. We're finding that people are suffering from the coronavirus situation more dramatically. In addition, many businesses have closed in these days of confinement because employees have stopped going to work. Caro Castello is a member of the organizing committee for World Meetings of Popular Movements. The Pope tells these entities it might be time to think about a universal basic wage, allowing families to meet essential needs. This would put the person at the center and concretely achieve the ideal, at once so human and so Christian, of no worker without rights.
Y ese mínimo lo tenemos que garantizar.
We have to guarantee that minimum through a state-organized system. That way, these people and these families who have absolutely nothing can really have the bare minimum to live. The pandemic has put us in a situation in which we have to make policies. We have to organize the economy in such a way that the full dignity of the person's at the center. In his letter, Pope Francis acknowledges how difficult it is to stay home for those who live in tiny spaces or for the homeless. He also includes those who are deprived of freedom and those in rehabilitation because of addiction.
Yo creo que las comunidades no podemos.
I don't think communities should detach themselves from this situation. We have to collaborate closely with public institutions to really be able to offer spaces, to be able to care for these people. Today, they are the most vulnerable in this situation of confinement. They are the most exposed due to a lack of nutrition, security, healthcare, and housing. They are the people who find it most difficult to respect confinement rules. These are ideals that make one reflect on life after the pandemic, because as Pope Francis says, while this storm shall pass, its grave consequences are already being felt.
而有关于难民营的关怀行动，教宗方济各也在最近公开回应一封来信。这一封信是来自一位救援人员。他们致力营救地中海难民。这位救援组织的成员表示，促使他写信给教宗方济各，是因为他看见了教宗在圣伯多禄广场的雨中祈祷，又降福罗马城与全世界，祈求疫情能够尽快结束。
The Pope responded to the letter sent to him by a lifeguard committed to rescuing refugees in the Mediterranean. His name is Luca Casarini. He wrote Pope Francis to express the anguish caused by the situation of the refugees in Libya after the closure of European ports from the pandemic. To those who escape torture, rape, slavery, and brutality of all kinds in Libya, we say, no, you cannot enter because you might get infected. Therefore, either you drown or you return to be tortured, raped, or killed. Luca explains what finally pushed him to write Pope Francis was seeing him pray in the rain in St. Peter's Square during the Urbi et Orbi blessing for the end of the pandemic. I wrote to the Pope because I was impressed by the speech he made in St. Peter's Square, empty because of the pandemic and lockdown. It was a speech where he said that no one saves himself alone. It struck me, and I wrote him a very personal letter. I never imagined that he would answer me. The NGO Luca works for published the content of the Pope's letter, in which he says the following: "Thank you for the human piety you have in the face of so much pain. Thank you for what you do. I would like to tell you that I am always available to help you out. Count on me." In December, Pope Francis noted this NGO when they gave him a cross with the life jacket of a deceased refugee.
Ho deciso di esporre qui questo giubbotto salvagente crocifisso su questa croce per ricordarci che dobbiamo tenere aperti gli occhi, tenere aperto il cuore, per ricordare a tutti l'impegno imprescindibile a salvare ogni vita umana, un dovere morale che unisce credenti e non credenti.
The vest had been found floating in the sea. The Pope had this cross placed at one of the entrances to the Apostolic Palace.
除了回应救援组织成员的来信，在这一波疫情大流行的危机当中，教宗方济各依然不忘记鼓励世人。他邀请各宗派基督徒一起诵念天主经，或称主祷文，并且降福罗马城及全世界。每一次，教宗都以有力的言辞鼓励大家信守希望与勇气。
During the coronavirus pandemic, Pope Francis has been offering encouragement to the world. From praying the Our Father with Christians of every denomination to imparting an extraordinary Urbi et Orbi blessing, he's accompanied each action with powerful words about keeping hope and courage alive. Pope Francis reminds Christians of their identity and that God is never changing, even during this time.
Perché quando ci sentiamo con le spalle al muro, quando ci troviamo in un vicolo cieco, senza luce e via di uscita, quando sembra che Dio perfino Lui non risponda, ci ricordiamo di non essere soli. Gesù ha provato l'abbandono totale, la situazione a Lui più estranea, per essere in tutto solidale con noi. L'ha fatto per me, per te, per tutti noi. L'ha fatto per dirci non temere, non sei solo. Noi siamo cristiani perché siamo stati eletti. In questa elezione c'è una promessa di speranza. Il segnale è la fecondità.
He recalls that going from the season of Lent to Easter and Jesus' death to resurrection, Christ remains the hope for Christians.
Il Signore ci interpella dalla sua croce a ritrovare la vita che ci attende, a guardare verso coloro che ci reclamano, a rafforzare, riconoscere e incentivare la grazia che ci abita. Non spegniamo la fiammella smorta che mai si ammala e lasciamo che riaccenda la speranza. È un altro contagio che si trasmette da cuore a cuore, perché ogni cuore umano attende questa buona notizia. È il contagio della speranza. Cristo, mia speranza, è risorto. Non si tratta di una formula magica che faccia svanire i problemi. No, la resurrezione di Cristo non è questo. È invece la vittoria dell'amore sulla radice del male. Una vittoria che non scavalca la sofferenza e la morte, ma le attraversa.
He doesn't play down the difficulties and suffering, but says in order to face them, courage is also needed. Pope Francis asks people not to give up in this time. He says to remember that God is bigger than any problem that could arise.
Sorella, fratello, anche se nel cuore hai seppellito la speranza, non arrenderti. Dio è più grande. Il buio e la morte non hanno l'ultima parola. Coraggio, con Dio niente è perduto. Se sei debole e fragile nel cammino, se cadi, non temere. Dio ti tende la mano e ti dice coraggio. Non te lo puoi dare, ma lo puoi ricevere come un dono. Basta aprire il cuore nella preghiera, basta sollevare un poco quella pietra posta all'imboccatura del cuore per lasciare entrare la luce di Gesù. Basta invitarlo, vieni Gesù nelle mie paure e di anche a me coraggio.
Pope Francis gives a daily message like this each morning when he celebrates Mass. His advice transmits globally since he live streams each of his public appearances. It's another way he's living out his pastoral call as the shepherd of the Roman Catholic Church and a spiritual leader in a world with an uncertain future.
Signore, non dimentica.
复活期第3主日，教宗方济各再次于宗座大楼图书馆的网站带领诵念天皇后喜乐经。教宗也邀请所有公教徒在5月圣母月请圣母代祷，以求兼顾信德和望德。
Pope Francis once again led the Regina Coeli virtually from the Apostolic Library. He requested that Catholics reach out to the Blessed Mother in the month of May, saying she will give more faith and hope to confront the virus.
Ho invitato tutti i fedeli a pregare in questo mese il Santo Rosario, insieme, in famiglia o soli, e pregare una delle due preghiere che ho messo a disposizione di tutti.
He reflected on the gospel of the road to Emmaus, noting the disciples were sad after the death of Jesus. Pope Francis said because they put their problems first and didn't even notice Jesus was among them.
smettere di orbitare attorno al proprio io, alle delusioni del passato, agli ideali non realizzati, a tante cose brutte che sono accadute nella propria vita. Ma tante volte noi siamo presi a orbitare, lasciare quello. E andare avanti guardando alla realtà più grande e vera della vita. Gesù è vivo, Gesù mi ama, questa è la realtà più grande.
He challenged Christians to ask what they can do for others, to be positive and bright in the face of trouble. Pope Francis asked that especially in this time, complaining is turned into service.
Dal sé al sì, dalla lamentela alla gioia e alla pace. Perché quando noi ci lamentiamo, non siamo nella gioia, siamo in un grigio, quell'area grigia della tristezza. E questo non aiuta.
The Pope concluded praying for the sick, especially those with coronavirus and malaria, on World Malaria Day. Worldwide, around 3.3 billion people are at risk of the disease.
在新闻最后带您来看梵蒂冈的印刷厂，它是梵蒂冈城众多办事处当中占相当重要的作用。它从1587年创立至今，在多方面服务教廷，包括印制教宗文稿、宗座各部文件，以至朝圣者们出席教宗活动的门票。
The Vatican's printing press, otherwise known as the Tipografia, is one of the main offices inside the Vatican city-state with a crucial role. Originating in 1587, it served the Holy See in various regards, printing papal texts, documents from various Vatican congregations, and even tickets for pilgrims to attend events with the Pope. The printing house's coordinator says the work still continues today in a very unique style.
The Vatican printing press is the oldest media contributing to the new dicastery of communication. We still make books with glue, thread, leather, sheep paper, and it works wonderfully.
While some official Vatican books are completed in this way, the texts first must be placed in a manageable format. This is the work of graphic designers. They rearrange the files in a book layout, change the size of the text, insert publishing information, and the official logo of the Vatican Tipografia.
It's changed from a Word document to a PDF and placed into the book format. Sometimes the text arrives as a PDF and can be printed directly. What is printed is then handled by bookbinding or industrial craftsmen who package the book.
Both the printing and packaging processes are divided, depending which text needs to be printed, if it's black and white, or color, and where it needs to be sent.
We have 2 and 4 color offset machines, and another room with a 5 color offset machine. The L'Osservatore Romano press prints 6 editions daily, Monday to Saturday. Then it prints 5 weekly editions in various languages, 1 in Italian, Spanish, English, Portuguese, and French. Finally, a monthly edition in Polish.
The Osservatore Romano is printed each afternoon and is packaged by a team who gets it to the public as soon as possible. Brightly colored tickets for papal events are printed in the same room on a much smaller printer. In the space next door, magazines and glossy paper is printed for books. The colors are seen above the large printers, and the pages inspected before they can be sent off to become books. At the following step, the pages are sliced and diced twice. At that point, they can become stapled to make small booklets, or go through the binding process to become even larger works, full of imagery and history. Besides printing capabilities, the Vatican's Tipografia contains so much more.
We have buildings dedicated to the technical and commercial side. We have photo composition, a digital printing machine, and the best part of the typography, which is the artisan bookbinding. They create pieces by hand to give to the Holy Father and to the Secretary of State. They include agreements between states and the papal yearbook.
But before arriving at their current production status, the printing press went through many changes over the years. The first Vatican printing house was divided into two functions, with the second one starting to print in 23 different alphabets.
Then another typography was created at the work of Pope Urban VIII in 1626. This other typography was created as a polyglot typography for the Sacred Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. It was used for mission materials, printed material that missionaries needed in their work.
For 2 centuries, the original press house continued printing religious books, dictionaries, and grammar books until Leo XII and Leo XIII revived it, starting in 1825. Then in 1908, construction began for the current warehouse, which caused the 2 printing presses to unite as one. In 1937, the Salesians of Don Bosco managed the printing press for about 80 years. John Paul II brought the most recent update in 1991, expanding it even more until it became part of the Vatican's dicastery for communication. In its current role, the printing press continues to work for the Holy See at the service of the Pope and the Secretary of State. They make sure all official documents, books, and tickets are made available to the faithful all around the world, no matter how far they are from the eternal city itself.
感谢您收看这一周的罗马主场 Roman Reports， 在节目的最后，带您一同来观赏 Hello 教宗 Oh My God 精彩的节目片段。我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，我们下一周再会，祝福大家平安喜乐。
台湾和梵蒂冈虽然相隔千里，但其实很近。教宗方济各和台湾人没有距离，关心这片土地，走入人群与社会，哪里有需要就往哪里去。这是亚洲首次结合教宗生活言行的节目。
本节目由光启社媒体福传以爱还爱影音工程计划赞助播出。2020年耶稣会士南怀仁传需要您的支持与赞助，请扫描影片中的 QR code 或电洽0227122136转200。您的支持是我们继续前进的动力。